It's a fantasy sort of film based on the imagination of musicians when they're on the road.
What is it about the life on the road that interests you?
Well, it's quite varied. There's lots of interesting things that can happen to you on the road, and if you go on the road with a bunch of people who have a good sense of humor, then one piece of material sort of breeds another piece of material, and you can compute which should not be wasted or thrown away. And I would prefer to have this folklore saved and shared with a larger audience, and this is what I've attempted to do with the script for 200 Motels. A lot of the material is derived from folklore of the road.
Is it a rather unreal situation, the way the musicians are together, sort of encapsulated, fighting against the normal society people like, say, hotel clerks?
Well, the storyline for 200 Motels is written basically from the point of view of the Mothers of Invention, and the things that happen to us on the road must be quite different than the things that happen to other bands on the road. And when we go out, everything about the band and the people in it is so abnormal that it just doesn't apply to fighting against the outside world or anything like that. I mean, you don't even know that there is an outside world most of the time, because the only people that you associate are the guys in the band, or the promoter, or the girls that you meet at the concerts, and it's a very enclosed area, and you don't experience too much of the real atmosphere of a town that you go into.
Yeah.
A little of it seeps through, but mostly it's just what happens to the guys. The personalities of the guys in the group will change from the day that they start on the tour until they finally finish the tour, say 3 weeks later. Their personalities will have undergone a change during that 3-week period.
Having looked through the script, I noticed you've used quite a lot of stylized devices, like having people holding up cue cards, which the actors read their lines from, and you can see the cue cards on the screen, I think. And you use backdrops consciously. Why have you used this sort of device?
Well, the only time that a cue card occurs in the film is when several members of the group get credit for special material. That's the only time we use that. And what are you referring to with the backdrops?
Well, in the script, I think you use backdrops in various places, don't you? Sort of instead of shooting on location or something, but you have.
Well, the whole film was shot on a soundstage, so all the sets are extremely stylized and artificial looking.
Yeah.
Partly because it's more effective for the storyline being a fantasy to have them that way, and also because it's cheaper.
Yeah.
You know, when you make a cheap little movie, you get cheap little sets.
Yeah. Most films about pop music, and some of them have dealt with bands in this way, sort of semi-fictionalizing their lives, have been fairly awful, really. What makes you think that yours won't be? How have you tried to make sure that it won't?
Well, whenever it's fictionalized, we carry it to such extremes that everybody knows that it's obviously fake. And we try and emphasize that, and thereby making it an honest film.
Yeah, quite. Why did you decide to come to England to shoot it?
A number of reasons. The technology exists here. You have the PAL TV 625 line system. The place that transfers the videotape to 35mm is here, no place else. I understand that it's the last place in the world that Technicolor still uses the 3-picture process to make a matrix. They don't even have that in the United States anymore. There were cost factors involved in the hiring of various personnel to put the thing together.
Yeah.
We also happened to be finishing a European tour just prior to the photographing of the film, so it all worked out.
A live version of part of the film, at least, has already been banned by the Albert Hall. Do you think you'll have trouble getting the movie shown when it appears, or are you going to take this into consideration in the editing stage? Has it affected what you're doing?
Well, you must remember that what was banned by the Albert Hall was not a live version of the film, but merely the music to be performed by the orchestra and perhaps 6 songs to be performed by the group. This does not include any part of the dialogue from the film. All it was the music from the film. The reasons for the project being banned from the Albert Hall are beyond my comprehension. I don't understand people who get upset over words like brassiere. That's too far out for me. And as far as changing anything in the film in order to meet some sort of censorship needs, I'm not doing that. I'm just putting the film together the way it looks interesting to me. I try and make it play along at a nice even pace, keep the music coming in there every once in a while, make it funny. And if some people get offended by it, well, that's too bad. They just have to grow up and then they can enjoy it.
Do you expect any trouble?
I didn't expect any trouble at the Albert Hall when I got it. So no telling what's going to happen when 200 Motels is unleashed on a theater public.
What's your attitude to the people who buy your records? Do you think perhaps they take you for the wrong reasons, they enjoy you for the wrong reasons?
Generally, yes.
Yeah.
I would say the largest percentage of the people who buy the records buy it for reasons other than which the music was intended.
Yeah.
But that's not just true of our musical group, because I'm sure that's true of most musical groups.
Yeah.
Because a musician makes music, if he's sincere about it, makes it because he's interested in music, and the record buying public will, in many cases, buy a record just to have some sort of background sound happening in their house while they perform other physical activities.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?